Race cars? Check. Lasers? You know it. Airplanes? That's a big ol' yep. All the elements are here. You'd best prepare yourself for an incoming duck blur, because today we're talking about DuckTales. But a lot can change in 30 years, and we here at Frederator don't want you to have to dive into the new series cold. Hi Duckburgians, Adrian here with Channel Frederator, and if you can't tell by the sheer excitement in my voice, DuckTales is back! Today we're talking, or squawking, about the differences between the classic late 80s series and its currently airing millennial version. In Then vs. Now, DuckTales. The new voice actors. One of the biggest changes made to DuckTales is its brand spanking new voice cast. The classic utilized the stacked talents of legendary voice actors like Russi Taylor, who voiced all three nephews with a similar adorable Ducky croak, Alan Young, Scrooge's longest running voice actor, and even the recently deceased June Foray, who played several characters in the original, including Ma Beagle, Scrooge's mother, and Mrs. Featherby. Foray was well known in the animation world, having lent her tremendous vocal cords to everything from Rocky and Bullwinkle to the Golden Age Looney Tunes of the 1940s. On the other hand, 2017's DuckTales capitalizes a bit more on star power. Each nephew is now voiced by a well-known comedic actor. We've got Community's Danny Pudi as Huey, Parks and Recreation's Ben Schwartz as Dewey, and Louie voiced by Bobby Moynihan, fresh off his 9-year stint at Saturday Night Live. Though their particular vocalizations aren't quite as dynamic as the professional voice actors of the classic, having 3 different funny people play the triplets gives them each a more distinct personality from the other than just a different colored outfit. And they do a really great job of bringing their own vibe to the characters of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Though they don't have the old duck-sounding voices from the original, fans have still enjoyed the new distinct style of the siblings' voices. Rounding out the cast, we've got Kate MICUCCI as a more grown-up Webby, Beck Bennett as slow-witted pilot Launchpad McQuack, who is voiced by Terrence McGovern in the original, and Doctor Who's David Tennant as Uncle Scrooge. And guess what? Tennant is actually Scottish. Talk about authenticity. The new attitude. While the new DuckTales doesn't completely lose the wholesome charm of its predecessor, its humor has certainly changed with the time. Certainly owing to the subversive streak of their new voice cast, the new DuckTales attitude is a little more self-referential and just the feather darker. In the early DuckTales, plots would be built around, say, the boys entering a town-wide marbles tournament or a dream-induced spoof of Cinderella, but the humor of the reboot allows more room for more matured themes. For example, in the first episode, Woo! When Huey, Dewey, and Louie first encounter Webby and she instantly asks which triplet is the evil one, they counter with a quick tossed-off Louie, to which he shrugs and agrees. Or the fact that there's some pretty tense drama that's transpired between Scrooge and Donald Duck that's only implied, but from the looks of it is very heavy. So much so that the triplets have never been told about their relation to Scrooge before being dropped off in haste at his mansion when Donald is scrambling to make a job interview. The feel of the show is very much in step with the current TV landscape. Humor-wise, it's extremely interesting to see a post-Simpsons Duckburg, and it does a great job of matching the joke frequency. Where the classic DuckTales would focus on mostly just plot and adventure, the reboot is comfortable going on adventures and adding in well-timed jokes or reaction shots along the way, so get ready for some sweet punchlines. It'll also be cool to see if the new show carries on the practice of taking storylines from the original Uncle Scrooge comics, like the first DuckTales did. With the comics dating as far back as 1952 and being passed on to newer artists and writers as time went on, there's a seemingly endless back catalog of McDuck adventures to be mined. Only time will tell if the new writers will be aiming for the new episodes to take their cues from the classic comics or blaze a new trail of their own. Either way, we'll be watching. Animation. The old DuckTales was noted for the lush, cinematic, hand-drawn animation it brought to Saturday morning. Typically, animation for television is severely limited. Think the Flintstones or He-Man, due to minuscule budgets and tight deadlines. Disney spared no expense in making DuckTales look as good as anything they were to put up on the big screen at the time. With current-day TV animation dominated by CG, most notably the quick and cheap Flash, the new DuckTales does the best with what it can. While still digitally animated, it's as fluid and kinetic as the movements in Adventure Time and its ilk. In fact, the entire animation team is comprised of the same group that worked on an extremely well-made Disney show, Gravity Falls, complete with Sean Jimenez, Falls' former location designer, serving as art director. And it shows. The two have a very similar look and feel. The new show even visually resembles the old comics more than the old show ever did, which is really good news for Duckburg purists. In keeping with the slightly darker tone of the series, the colors are a bit more muted than the old show, making for a vaguely grittier feeling DuckTales. A phrase I never thought I'd get used to. Cross that off the old bucket list, or should I say ducket list? I know, I'm sorry. Characterizations. While the old Huey, Dewey, and Louie are truly classic characters, there was always a sort of three-headed monster quality to them. They were practically interchangeable, having the same interests, motives, and as I said before, even voices. In the reboot, their personalities are much more distinct. distinct. Huey's still an intrepid junior woodchuck, quick to consult his handbook and prep for the day's adventure. Louis is more streetwise and sarcastic, at one point coaching his new pal in the fine art of lying to your legal guardians. And middle child Dewey is the most in tune with his sensitivity and emotions, instantly crestfallen when he overhears Uncle Scrooge bemoan his newfound family. Also, and I don't know how this didn't make the headlines of the New York Times, only Huey wears his trademark cap. You heard it here, folks. Furthermore, Webby Vanderquack, formerly a toddler who gave her all trying to keep up with her older cousins, is now an intrepid family historian. Even more adventurous than Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Kate MICUCCI brings an intense edge to Webby, previously unseen in her younger version. And it's refreshing that the new DuckTales has such a fantastic female character young fans can look up to. Launchpad was always a bit of a lunkhead, crashing who knows how many vehicles over the course of the original 4 seasons, but the 2017 version takes his lack of intelligence to a wild extreme. This duck's dumb, and I mean real dumb, popping in numerous times to remind everyone I'm a pilot even when the situation doesn't call for one. Bennett's wacky deep voice really takes Launchpad's IQ down a few points, and it's delightful. Plus, who knows how the characters they haven't reintroduced yet will stack up against their old personalities. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're only a few episodes in after all. Music. Alright, before anyone gets worried, the DuckTales theme by Mark Mueller, possibly one of the catchiest intros in cartoon history, is still here. And honestly, why would they get rid of such a gem? Heck, every television show should just use the DuckTales theme. Get on that, Game of Thrones. DuckTales, this is DuckTales, this is DuckTales, this is Duck. The theme's been re-recorded with former American Idol contestant FELICIA Barton on lead vocals. According to the arranger Michael Smith, he gave her only one instruction for the new track: sing it like you can't believe you're singing the DuckTales theme song. I think the childlike wonder shines through with Barton's enthusiastic belting of this Saturday morning classic. Plus, it's still catchy as ever. In fact, I can't get it out of my head. Truly a blessing and a curse. Marketing and culture. When the first episode dropped in August, the build-up for its release was pretty nuts. Disney XD had a tremendous campaign to ensure a solid premiere. Using the star power of the voice cast to their advantage, tons of interviews and web content featuring Moynihan, MICUCCI, Schwartz, and PUDI was all over pop culture websites like the AV Club, and even made the rounds on TV news programs, like that one video of the whole cast singing the theme song. Whereas the original DuckTales was specifically marketed to children coming home after a long day at school. Fractions can be brutal. DuckTales 2017 has to skew a bit older if they want to keep the fans of the original happy. The fact that the reboot comes with a hearty helping of nostalgia for parents who grew up with the show allows the marketing to cover a wider swath. The new DuckTales not only appeals to the young children in Disney's main demographic, but also encapsulates the magic their parents felt tuning in back in the 80s. A true family show. Even the voice cast is pumped to watch with their brood, especially Huey's Danny Pudi, who says, "This is super exciting for me because I did watch this show as a kid with my brother and sister, and now this is awesome because I can share this with my twins, and it's an excuse for me to watch the show. We're excited for you too, Danny." And since we're living in the age of YouTube and social media, the new DuckTales now has to deal with instant fan theories, critiques, and comments via the internet, like our theories and critiques. I guess including this video I'm in right now. Wow, meta. Fan reaction doesn't always take the form of a tossed off comment, however, with some intrepid YouTubers using their know-how to helpfully point out the subtly placed Easter eggs you may have missed when watching or streaming casually. For example, keep your eyes and ears out for references to Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, and Goof Troop, and homages left and right to the original good duck artist Carl Barks, especially in the decor of Uncle Scrooge's mansion. In fact, you can go check those out in our DuckTales references video. Ah, self-promotion. And there you have it. Thanks for watching Then vs. Now DuckTales. Be sure to share your comments in the section below and tell us how you think the new series measures up to the old, or vice versa. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more nuggets of joy from your old pals here at Frederator. Click that bell icon to become part of the notification squad, because remember, Frederator loves you. Oh, and good luck getting that theme song out of your head. Woo!